Memories. Memories.
Feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing. It's just you and me. Feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing. It's just you and me. I'm so caught in this, we're so lost deep in it, can't stop. I'm forever the one you call. Let's free fall. I'm so caught in this, we're so lost deep in it, can't stop. I'm forever the one you call. Let's free fall. Let's free fall. Let's free
He's both trying to find what angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a roll. See White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna get themselves a big old 4K. Oh. Santi's getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Sagafar is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick under Leaky. You're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Ana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The 4th one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to one more grand finals here in CGL Shadow. This time, we're taking a trip down to the Diamond Division here for our grand finals in the Diamond tier.
Yeah, it's a really hype game here tonight. But before we get into Drop the Guns and Zebras match, we're going to have to go through some of these awards. As you can see right there, we're going to be going through first, second, and third place for several categories as voted on by you, the CGL community.
We're going to get that kicked off here momentarily with our first award winner here. We've got our, I believe it is our manager of the season of our Diamond tier, and it's going to be your CGL's very own Try Hard Ray. Taking first place, second place was Fluky, and third place was, again, CGL's very own Soav Danam. So congratulations, Ray. How you feeling about this award?
Feeling pretty good. I just want to make sure this is the manager one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Feeling pretty good about it. I take pride in doing very good for my team, being respectful to the other teams, try and, organize everything with everyone as respectfully as possible. And I think, the voting showed, so I'm very happy to see it recognized.
Yeah, definitely. It's always hard to get people super organized, so I'm sure all the teams always appreciate how easy it is to get in contact with you.
Yeah, I mean, now while you're here, Ray, it's not often we get to say this, but you've won 2. Actually, there are a couple of people that are winning 2 awards here tonight, and you're one of them. You also are the winner of our Tank of the Season award, the best tank in the Diamond tier. How does that feel?
Honestly, I thought I had a chance at manager. I honestly didn't think I was going to win this one, so that was a really big shock to find that one out. Very happy. I want to give huge shout outs to Hunter. I think, he's probably like the best tank. I just want to give a huge shout out to him, but I'm very appreciative that everyone recognized how good I did, and I think I've, been improving so much throughout the season. I think that's probably a good reason why is the strides I've made these last few weeks.
And speaking of Hunter, get a look at our top 3. Hunter was actually second place in the voting with Pizza Bot in that third place podium.
Yeah, I mean, congrats again, Ray. Huge to be able to take home that Tank Roll Star. I know you'd been advocating for it in the last few interviews, so, I mean, congratulations once again, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Now I have a hand cam to go set up.
Yeah, get to work. Get to work, Ray.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Now, moving forward here, we've got our rookie of the season here, Shadow. And it's another player from Drop the Guns who are going to be represented very healthily here tonight. Gonna pull them up. It's going to be a random attempt here. You are our rookie of the season, Random. How you feeling?
I put in a lot of work. I feel like I just wanted it. I seeked it out. I got it. I worked hard. I don't know. I feel like I just wanted it more. That's all they released to it.
Yeah. I mean, what was like the biggest challenge with this being your first season in CGL? Had you been on like any other teams prior to this?
The other team prior to this was in SPCS, and I didn't even finish out the season, and we didn't get a single win. It was actually a really bad season. I was playing with like a dive tank, and I played a completely different character, and this is my first full season, and I don't know, I just went hard. Put everything into it. It doesn't mean much to some people, but I cared, so I tried my hardest.
Well, I mean, that work paid off here, Random. So once again, congratulations for this award and best of luck tonight in the grand finals. And as we get ready to send Random away, we do put the lower third back up. I didn't bring up the top 3. Hippie, bring it back, Hippie. Bad Hippie.
I've got it. Second place for the Rookie of the Year was Praise Dazai, and then third place was Mad Bucks. Again, very, very strong players as well in their own right when I watched them play.
Yeah, so once again, congratulations and good luck tonight, Random.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Now we move. Well, Ray was our first role-specific award, but that's only because he won 2, and it was going to be the first award anyway. We're going to move to our dedicated role-specific awards here with our Damage Roll Star. Again, from Drop the Guns, it's Finikusu taking first place and actually the most hotly contested of the awards so far. As you look at our voting, Bandit was second place with 43 points, the closest that anyone has been to first place, with Novo taking third. Finnick, you are our Damage Roll Star this season. How you feeling about that award?
Honestly, it's so surreal. I honestly didn't expect it, with all the hype around Bandit and whatnot. I was just like, I came in, this is my first season on PC on Overwatch, so I was just kind of trying to do my best. I'm an employee, as they say. But yeah, I'm just happy, excited.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think ended up giving you the edge there towards the end, as far as over Bandit?
I just think honestly, because Bandit's just an insane player. His name on the kill feed honestly is a lot. But I think towards the after mid-season, after losing to Marsupials, I think I just turned a new leaf and I was like, I gotta lock in. My team is determined. I gotta be passionate. I need the passion. Passion gap, as Sugar Free says. That probably is it. Passion gap.
Well, Lenny Jr., we wish you the best of luck here tonight, and
thank you.
Looking for you to invoke the name of the S fam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, moving forward to our support role star. It's gonna be, of course, again from Drop the Guns. Surprise. It's going to be Upriser coming in here very, very soon. Upriser, our support role star for this season. Gotta look at our lower third real quick. Star Wolf and Dazai. Dazai actually, yeah, good stuff to them. Second and third place, but it is Upriser who is our support role star for the season. Or Upriser, sorry. I'm tweaking, I think. Upriser, congratulations. How you feeling about the award?
Oh man, I'm so stoked to have won support role star of the season. It's been a long road, a lot of VOD reviews, a lot of scrims, but we made it. Shout out to the other two, Dazai, fantastic then, Star Wolf. The only other person I thought, hey, if I don't win it, I'm cool with Star Wolf winning, because Star Wolf has been great for Assassins this season too.
Yeah, definitely makes sense to me. What do you think has really been like setting you apart specifically? Because you really did kind of run away with this category from Star Wolf and Dazai.
I mean, being on the undefeated team helps, I would say.
Yeah.
Being the IGL for the undefeated team is also probably a really good step in that direction too. But I think I just cemented my. I put a ton. I wasn't a Lucio player coming into the season. I'd never played Lucio in a team environment before. I have put in so much work into that hero, and it's got to a point where I like as humble as I can be, but I do think I was the absolute standout for that hero and for the main support roles as a whole for Diamond Tier this season. On top of IGLing, I have so much like gratitude for my team for putting their faith in me and and giving me a chance. And yeah, it's hopefully we finish it off with a great grand finals too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the grand finals here tonight as well. But you talk about standout players on a particular role, Upriser. It just so happens that you were the standout player in general. Just the best guy, right? Because you are also our Diamond Tier MVP for this season, Upriser. Congratulations again on that. It was another pretty close race. Bandit second place, Star Wolf in third, Upriser. You talk about all that work you put in to be recognized as the single best player in the Diamond Tier. How does that feel?
Oh man, that's incredible. Like double, not only support but MVP too. That's so sick. I'm so gracious. Thank you guys all who voted for me and recognized DTG this season. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's kind of come as a bit of a shock to a certain degree because I knew the competition. I knew Bandit in the role was would have been like a lot of people, especially first half of the season, would have been a lot of people's go-to guy. So the fact I was able to catch up and then eclipse him and to pip the role, yeah, I'm very proud of that achievement. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it was really just like that second half push that really put you ahead of somebody like Bandit to finish this season off, or what?
Yeah,
do you think it was?
I think after mid-season, I think a few people had DTG coming down a peg after a little bit, but we didn't. We kept it up. We didn't drop a single map thingy, and we continued that in the playoffs. Never dropped a single map. Hopefully we don't drop a map today. I'd like a nice easy 4-0, but we got to earn that. But yeah, that's what I put it down to. We just never getting complacent. I would put this down to just never being satisfied with where we were at, continuing to push our scrim SR higher, and continuing to badger our coach to keep what can I get better at next? Where's my area that I'm failing at the moment? Just stayed hungry, I guess, is the biggest way to put it.
Well, Upriser, once again, congratulations. You brought up your coach. So let's go ahead and get Mr. Isaac up here real quick. We'll have y'all both in here for this last little bit. You talk about your coach and asking him what you could do to get better at the game. Spec, you are our coach of the year as well for Drop the Guns. We've got Spectreon, who, again, it was kind of close with Pickle and Puggo. Congratulations, Spec. How you feeling about how your team has performed?
Pretty happy, obviously. Award sweep. Hard to be mad about. We've dropped, one map this CGL season?
Technically,
hard to
you
be mad
didn't
about.
sweep the award, Spectreon. Technically.
Listen, I can apologize to Finn later, but we're the team. I want to say we're the team of the people. That's not quite true. It's Zero's obviously the team of the people, but the people also agree that we can shoot our guns the best. So.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, an incredible season for Drop the Guns here. Spec, Upriser, our coach, support role star, and MVPs. Yeah. Just an incredible season. We're looking forward to seeing how y'all are going to close it out here tonight.
Yeah, obviously we hope we do well. We've beat Zebras before in 3-0 fashion. See if we can repeat that in the longer format.
Yeah, we will have to see if y'all can do it again tonight. I mean, I got pretty good faith, but good luck to y'all also in this grand finals.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
All right, one more award to give out, and Spec did talk about how it was, a sweep for Drop the Guns. Mm-hmm. Technically, that's not true. They did sweep the voting, but our fish award for good conduct and good sportsmanship is going to go to UTD Celestial here, represented by Sneef. Sneef, y'all get this fish award for sportsmanship. How y'all feeling?
Oh, yay! I didn't know that was a thing, but good, I think. Yeah. I think we're just a college team, and we formed this semester, and I think the main goal was just keep everyone happy, and then we had little team outings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to follow up, is there any moment from the season that sticks out to you as being oh hey, that was really fun, or a really positive interaction that you had throughout the season?
I think the first game that we won, because everyone was I think getting more of a footing as a team. People were learning how to calm or how to rotate. So winning that first game was really nice.
I mean, yeah, it was I'm sure. Unfortunately, I didn't have any real interaction with y'all. But if Fish trusts y'all, I trust y'all. And to be honest with you, it's always nice to see the schools that I've attended doing well. I went to UTD for 3 whole semesters.
Wow.
And honestly, if I had had something like y'all to go play Overwatch with, I might not have left. Yeah, congratulations, Sneef. And
Thank you.
the entirety of UTD Celestial, and we look forward to seeing how y'all develop moving into the future.
Yeah, I think next semester I think all the tryouts are getting it rearranged, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the team game thing, right? Stuff's always going to be moving around, but I'm sure that it's going to be, fun regardless.
Hopefully. I believe.
I believe as well. Sneef, thank you for coming to talk to us, and we wish you all the best of luck in the future.
All right, thank you. Bye.
And that's it.
Yep, that's our awards.
And that's it. Magic. Just like magic. Feels good to hand those out. Everybody deserves what they got. 2 incredible teams now here lined up against each other, looking to take the crown here in the Diamond tier. It's Drop the Guns versus XYBRAS here in the grand finals.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. Like, XYBRAS has been on like such a crazy run, and you can see it here looking at our bracket right now. XYBRAS wasn't supposed to win that first game against the IG Assassins. They weren't supposed to beat Virtus Pronouns. They just weren't supposed to be here at all. They were the 7th seed in this tier, and they had to beat the 3 and the 2 seed to get here. So this is a very well-earned finals berth for the XYBRAS right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have fought hard and long to get to where they are at. I'm looking forward to seeing how they rebound here against Drop the Guns, the undisputed #1 seed in this tournament, right? They've had their shot in that upper finals. Couldn't quite get there, but it's always nice to have a second shot at the belt, right? They're coming in with a chip on their shoulder. This team is full of great players, so I don't doubt that they can do it. But after this break, we'll see if they're going to do it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Shadow and everybody here, we've got our grand finals here in the Diamond tier of CGL Season 17. Drop the Guns, XYBRAS, in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. One more game stands between these two teams and glory here in Season 17. Drop the guns. Zebras, one more match to determine a champion.
Oh, yes, yes. It's going to be a hot and contested series, as they say. I expect it to be at least map 1 should be. Like, I casted the winners finals between these two teams, and Zebras was actually a lot closer than that score line would actually indicate to you. So I think if Zebras prepped like a little bit more, played a little bit more together, they might be able to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the rosters of the teams, which we'll get to in a little while. I mean, these two teams are absolutely stacked with talent. And Zebras in a couple of different ways, right? In the more literal sense, as on-screen talent. But we get a quick look at our first map. It's going to be Lijiang Tower here to start the series off. And what can you say about Lijiang Tower that really hasn't been said before? We're probably going to see a lot of rush. I know Ray likes his rush tanks, his brawl tanks. He likes to be up and close and personal, so not too much surprising. I know Hunter likes his brawl tank, so this is going to be in the mud here on Lijiang Tower to start this series off.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, this is the same map they picked last time first, so no surprises there. It was back and forth. It was a 2-1 map as well, so I expect nothing but just an incredibly close and competitive first map, because like you said, both these teams want to play these brawl style compositions.
Yeah, so any differences in composition are going to come down to the hero pool. And we will be removing 2 heroes from that pool here momentarily. First up, our higher seed gets the first ban. Going to move first. You know, these teams have played each other already this tournament, so they're already well aware of what each other wants to do, especially with as prominent as Drop the Guns has been. I mean, their game plan is mostly public knowledge. So see who they are going to ban out first, if it's going to be safe or if we're going to be super aggressive right off the rip.
Last time they banned Blizzard's Junkrat to start with. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that again.
Oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Just because, like, you know, it also saves their Tracer pick. So I'm expecting the Junkrat ban again because it did work well for them last time, but maybe they don't do that.
Yeah. So if Blizzard is dedicated to the Junkrat, this is the map that you want to get rid of that Junkrat on, especially on Lijiang Control Center, where the corridors are super tight and you can spam through the server room. Junkrat is just so annoying. I don't want to say oppressive, because Junkrat in general is just not very good, right?
Right.
But very annoying. The traps to lock down any kind of movement. It's if you know that your opponent is planning to run the Junkrat, Lijiang Tower is just about the best place that you can choose to get rid of the Junkrat.
Yeah, like you said, especially Control Center, there's a lot of corridors that you can just get hit by some stray damage, and it can just really mess up your composition, especially when you're as grouped up as these teams are probably going to be. Zebra's going to be banning that Brigitte, which I find fascinating because I wasn't expecting Brigitte on this map.
You never do, right? I gotta believe that that's just because there's not another character that they wanted banned, right? They were gonna go after a DPS ban if Drop the Guns messed up and didn't ban the Junkrat.
Right.
Playing around the mess up, or the mistake, I should say, didn't come through this time for Zebras, so they're gonna ban out a character that they probably don't have any intention on playing later in the series, or potentially, they do plan on playing it and they just want to ban it now because nothing else feels better, right?
Yeah.
So it's just going to be Lucio Kiri. I can imagine the back line for both of these teams, and we're going to see Bog Standard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ramatra, but or Reinhardt either, for that matter. It's just going to be down in the mud, right in each other's faces, I feel like, this whole series.
Well, I gotta be honest, there may have been a ban that could have worked better there. If my memory is serving me correctly, I believe Springs favors that Baptiste over that Kiriko more often than not for Drop the Guns. So I think that might have been potentially a good ban for you to have, because we'll see it when we go to Springs' POV, but Springs is very good at doing a lot of things at one time, as you have to be to play like a Baptiste, and it just gets incredible value.
That's a great name for a Baptiste player.
It is, actually. I didn't even think of that.
That's a great name for a Baptiste player. That's awesome. Well, speaking of Springs, let's get a look at this roster for Drop the Guns, our undisputed #1 seed. They have not dropped a map this postseason. Been on a roll, chip on their shoulder ever since they lost in the mid-season tournament. Drop the Guns, Finikusu, random attempt on the DPS. Try hard Ray on that tank roll. Springs and Upriser in the backline. This team is on fire. It's going to be up to the Zebras to see if they can put it out.
Yep, and speaking of the Zebras, a lot of familiar names over there, but here comes the Zebras roster. Starting off on that DPS line, we got Soav Denim and Gedster on that DPS line. Hunter Tang going to be on the tank, with Mott and Dex going to be running that support line here tonight. So the one key difference is, last series it was Blizzard coming in on that DPS line. This time it's going to be Soav this first map.
All right, see if that changeup is going to matter. And we actually have 10 cameras online right now. 10 cameras. Don't look at me like that, Dex. Turn off the strobe light. Tell him to turn off the strobe light. Okay, he's locked in. I guess I can't.
He's incredibly focused right now.
I can't say no to a face like that. Okay. Here we go. Map at #1 on the horizon. 10 cameras. We're looking at every single one of our players in the lobby. We're gonna, this is exciting. This is something we've never had before. Like, we've had experiments before where we've had like 1 or 2 players on the cam, and it's nice to see that our plans are coming to fruition. Get to see, but not here. Oh, hi, Coach. How you doing, Doctor?
I love that he's got a shirt and tie on for
Yeah,
this.
it's
He's got like
awesome.
the
It's
suit
awesome.
coat and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, coach is here to play. You know, he's not playing, but he's playing. You know, just like Pop. You know, gotta pull up in the suit.
Absolutely. It's always exciting to have the caster team do so well because it's like, you know, everyone is going to.
That's not
have
even. He's not even on the
cameras and
caster
whatnot.
team though.
I was more talking about Spec because Spec's a coach, but yes, to add to that, it is nice that the entirety of Drop the Guns also got their cameras on. I'm really surprised about that actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably at the coercion of Ray and Spec though, if I'm being honest. It's nice to see all of these players' faces in all their glory, getting ready for this series. I mean, we already talked about it, right? XYBRAS has fought so hard to get to where they are at, underdogs for most of, if not all of this postseason. So for them to come through with only one loss so far to this Drop the Gun squad, you know, I'm very, very excited to see how they respond to the loss and how they bring it back. You know, their spirits look high, they look locked in. But it's time to see what these players are going to bring to the table. Spec finally, or that's not Spec, that's Dex. It's Dex finally turning off that strobe light for the dramatic effect. We'll get to see what these players are locking in. Reinhardt versus Orisa. I don't think that Hunter's going to have a very good time if he locks onto this Reinhardt.
Oh my gosh, that is like, being someone who likes to play Reinhardt as well, Orisa is like my least favorite tank to play into. Like, I'll play into the Ram all day long, but please do not lock the Golden Horse on me. It is the most irritating thing to try and play Ryan into. But having a Symmetra and a Reaper, that's going to make this interesting, I think.
Map number 1, it is that control center. Of course, Blizzard on the bench right now, so that Junkrat ban not coming through in its full potential as Ray gets pushed back further under the pressure of Soav and that Symmetra teleporter out. Gonna back it down. Soav getting super aggro with the teleporter, has to back behind Hunter's shield. Point unlocked in 1 second. Neither team has posted a casualty yet. Space control to Drop the Guns right now as Ray tries to walk it down. Soav, who's under so much duress, finally goes down to Springs on that Baptiste. Guesser able to get the trade as Springs now under pressure. 1-for-1 here. Neither team finding the footing just yet. Another 1-for-1. Both tanks out of this fight. Gedster looking for the Reaper. 1v1 puts Finnick away. And 3 kills for the Reaper of XYBRAS, going to put them in control of Control Center first.
Oh man, what a back and forth affair this has been so far. Gedster has been like a menace on this Reaper throughout this entire lower bracket run that they've had, lower/upper bracket run they've had, so I am not surprised to see it going that way so far. Both teams coming up on quite a few ultimates here shortly. That's not good,
That's
though.
bad, though. Hunter goes down first and early here. This Amp Matrix, just too much to deal with. Another casualty in Gedster, and a quick and simple fight win with just the one ult for Drop the Guns.
And that's the downside of playing the Reinhardt. I make the joke all the time that the cardboard skin is the most accurate Reinhardt skin they have ever made, and that's a prime example of it right there. Amp Matrix Rein just instantly falls over. Did use a lot of ultimates though if you drop the gun, so XYBRAS should be able to engage with the Kitsune here, and it looks like they're doing just that.
Here is the Kitsune Rush from Mott. Deadeye from Random Attempt will connect just onto the shield though, but the shield is broken. Death Blossom in from Gedster, finds the one. Not quite going to be able to take down Ray, though. Ray still very, very low right now. Going to receive that sound barrier from Upriser, but Hunter Tane going to take the MVP for a ride across the map, and XYBRAS will be able to come back in and take control once more.
Oh my gosh, great plays there all around from everybody. Just timing their ultimates perfectly throughout that entire sequence, quite frankly. The sound barrier engages with each other. Just absolutely great plays. Terra Surge in here from Ray, and Soab going to have this barrier available. Hopefully they can get some good value out of that.
All right, throwing up those turrets. Wall at the ready, going to use it. Play around it here for Zebras. What they need to do. Immortality Field forced early here. This wall will fade away as the teleporter comes down to back out this Reinhardt. Terra Surge invested. Will not find an elimination. Ant Matrix also used here, but it will... That will be the ultimate that puts the nail in the coffin for this fight for Zebras. Hunter Tane coming in from left field to take out random attempt.
Yeah, Hunter said, if I'm going down, I'm taking my one with
one
me,
more.
right?
I got
getting
mine.
a nice, yeah, getting a nice pin right there, getting the one. That Shatter gonna be online for Hunter, but luckily enough, that Ant Matrix is down now because Springs has just been a menace on that Baptiste so far. It's gonna be up to Hunter to get a big Shatter, and Getster going down. Oh, that's not good.
Here. You just play safe here. This is the right call. Yeah. I think that Zebras knows what they're supposed to do here. They're down one. Do not aggress.
Could not agree more. You got to deal with this Death Blossom and Deadeye as well. I hope they are ready for that. Zebras are.
I mean, Hunter has this Earth Shatter ready to rip. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in a place where the Deadeye can be stopped. Oh, so I'm down. Gonna need this Earth Shatter to come through huge, but Hunter will go down before losing that ultimate. And now only one more fight separates Drop the Guns from a completion on this sub-map.
Ooh, that's tough too, to lose Dex out like that. You're still in one fight territory, luckily, but you just have to wait like a little bit longer now for this engage.
Lucio a little bit faster than some of those other characters, luckily, but this last fight, I mean, we're about to see 10 ultimates here in this final fight to try and claim our first sub-map. Earth Shatter down. It's pretty good. We're going to see 2 on the Deadeye, 2 on the Death Blossom, and Zebras, they brought it so close. But unfortunately, this DPS line for Drop the Guns just too much.
It really ended up just being the Death Blossom and the Deadeye. It was the 2 ultimates. Like, we saw Hunter chasing so hard in the previous fight, trying to do something with those 2 ultimates, and he was just not able to run down Random and Fenikasu, and it ended up costing them the fight because he couldn't get to them, and then right there as well, wasn't able to do anything with the Death Blossom or the Deadeye. Yeah, this DPS line is going to be a problem that has to be dealt with.
See if there's any changes here for map number 2. Only one might be Fennec, but I imagine this is going to be a Pharah. That could be a problem. That could be an issue.
Reaper has dire triggers now, but it's okay.
Okay, I'll trust you. I haven't seen much Reaper be played, but... Oh, Mott getting that swift step back onto the objective. Tryhard Ray forced to play in that Immortality Field. Unfortunately, Hunter just pinned into a wall. Best Reinhardt North America. Holding up this shield as a barrier to try and keep these players off of this objective. These turrets are annoying, but random attempt going on from the off angle. That shield broken, and as a result, Hunter is dead. This will be a fight win for Drop the Guns. It's just up to these Zebra stragglers to see how much percentage they can get.
Yeah, 19%, not bad considering you didn't win a fight at any point in time there. You are building your way up to that Kitsune Rush. Mott is really fast at building that ultimate. The only thing that's really close for Drop the Guns is that Deadeye, so you could potentially get a really good Kitsune engage here, get Hunter swinging on them, getting some Reaper shots off, and then the TP straight to the point is good too. Yeah,
TP straight to the point is going to be very annoying for Drop the Guns to deal with, especially as low as Ray is, who goes down at the hands of that Kitsune Rush. The flip does come through. Finnick trying to find some pressure from the off angle, but it will not be enough. The Kitsune Rush overwhelms Drop the Guns.
I mean, that's kind of what you expect to happen, and honestly, good job from Drop the Guns to just back off, because even with Zebras winning that fight, they're no closer to any ultimates. Drop the Guns has both support ultimates. They're basically close to all 5 of their ultimates coming in here to this next fight. And Zebras just doesn't have a good response right now.
Here's the Amp Matrix. Need to play safe around it. Teleporter out to the backside of the point. Looking for the pin, but Finnick gets the environmental kill. The Deadeye in here from random attempt will not find a casualty. May have just been to reload, but Zebras will lose out in the end here as Drop the Guns take back control.
I mean, honestly, if you're Zebras, you're really happy for that. You didn't have to spend a single ultimate. You got 3 out of Drop the Guns. They used the Amp Matrix, Sound Barrier, and that Deadeye, so you're super happy with that. And you built up to basically all of your ultimates as well. It's really going to just be this barrage that you're concerned about going into this next one.
All right, well, Mott going down. This is another fight where you just say, hey, we're not going to aggress any further than we have to here and just play it safe.
Yeah, Zebras needs to stop letting that happen. They're just giving Drop the Guns a lot of free percentage right now, and you could be taking fights right now.
Lead to Drop the Guns. Earth Shatter down, but it's just a huge rocket barrage. Gedster does come in for another a couple of nice picks with the Death Blossom, but just a massive barrage from Finnick to take that fight.
And I mean, it's kind of expected. You know, you don't have a particularly good composition for trying to deal with that Pharah right now. You know, I joked about the dire triggers, but you don't have players that are really good at handling what Pharah can do in this game.
All right, well, we saw what this teleporter can do for Zebras earlier. They're gonna get a flip here. Need to play as safely as they can. Gedster trying to be the one to take care of the Pharah. We're gonna cross that 70% mark, but still a long fight ahead of them with a Terra Surge from Ray coming in here soon. Sound Barrier down to deny the Terra Surge damage. Amp Matrix invested. Springs under a lot of duress. Gedster able to finally track it down. That BAP. This Amp Matrix still up for the moment as Ray will lose out on that gold form. The Deadeye will not connect, but need to get rid of this Orisa. Ray, just even without the Baptiste refusing to go down, does end up falling in the end, but it's too little too late for Zebras to come through. Their health is just not there.
Oh, it is not. There's 8% left. I don't know. It looks like Zebras are going to be able to get a touch in here, but can they win this fight out?
Is that a touch? Okay, it was a touch. Good. So the flashbang will come out. The cleanse will as well. Dex goes all the way off the map downtown Lijiang for Dex as Upriser finds a 3-piece, the MVP with a hat trick to take map number 1.
Yeah, great plays overall from Drop the Guns. It was very competitive from Zebras, but they just didn't quite have the answers, and
he knows. I
really do think they needed to not take those random just first pick-offs. They were losing 10-15% off of that, and like I was saying, you could have gotten potentially an entire extra fight off of that, and that would have been really useful.
Yeah, I mean, Upriser playing with the utmost energy and power right now. This team firing on all cylinders. Even when they make a mistake, it's not for long, right? They're able to come back and swarm this Zebras squad. I mean, the unfortunate thing is just how good Baptiste and Orisa are into the Reinhardt composition, as good as Hunter and this team is at playing around that Reinhardt. Drop the Guns knows all of the pressure points to hit to take advantage of the weaknesses.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest too, it makes me kind of question Zebra's ban, because if they knew they were going to play Reinhardt, I feel like you could have just banned Orisa and made your life significantly easier. You know, Ray, I don't think Ray would have been able to survive in some of those instances as easily on a Ramatra, for instance. Right here in this fight, Ray was just living an obscene amount of time on that Orisa.
Yeah, I mean, that's Orisa's specialty, right? Is just living, right? You just stay alive, and frankly, I feel like the stats here don't really tell the whole story about just how close this map actually was. But they do tell part of the story, right? Ultimately, it was Drop the Guns who, like I said, were able to push the pressure points of the composition of XYBRAS. And right now, as we move forward into map number 2 and onward, XYBRAS are going to have to figure out how to adapt, right? Because they never really changed what they were doing, right? They just kind of brute forced the whole time on the same composition, and I don't think it was a bad call into the Orisa, especially with the Symmetra. I think Symmetra is still a very underrated hero in this game right now. But you need, if something's not working, something has to change. And right now, the XYBRAS, they didn't look like they were willing.
No, and you know, I do think it's just an instance. I said it right at the beginning. I mean, you play with me a good bit. I play a lot of Reinhardt myself. I was losing my mind trying to play into the Orisa.
I was the definition of inflexibility. I get it. I get it. When you're comfortable on a composition, you're gonna try to force it, but at some point you've gotta. This is the grand finals, right? You've got nothing left to lose. The season ends after this game, no matter what happens. So you might as well put it all out on the line. So now for XYBRAS, we're looking forward to map number 2. We're going to another rush map. Whoop-de-doo. It's going to be Cervasa here for map number 2. Flashpoint. I struggle to believe that the game plan is a lot different. The question is, do we see, differences in the tank selections, right? I feel like Cervasa's a little bit worse for the Reinhardt in general. It's like a lot less like close quarters in general, I feel like, than something like a Lijiang Tower, where the Ramatra or even a Junker Queen or something to that effect, even a Malga, could be super, super powerful here on this map.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And for that reason, I think this is where you got to take the Orisa. If you weren't going to take the Orisa last map, you need to take the Orisa this map, because then you're essentially, because Drop the Guns, we've really only seen them play brawl compositions primarily, so you're kind of forcing like that Ramatra in a sense, right? And if Hunter wants to, Hunter can play Malga into Ramatra, and that's a very, very good matchup to play, right? If XYBRAS decides they want to do something like that. Or you can even play the Rein into the Ramatra. I tend to think that's a better matchup than the Orisa is. I know everybody talks about, oh, you can punch through the shield. Yeah, but like those punches aren't outdoing the amount of healing I can receive while the shield is up. XYBRAS actually going to go with that cast ban first, though. Random Attempt was putting in some work on map 1.
I don't know how to feel about that one, to be honest with you. I feel like there are more dire things you need. Like, admittedly, this is the grand finals. You've got a little bit more of a cushion, right? But it never feels good to just kind of feel it out in the second map of the series, right? Because if you get punished for playing it safe and trying to save the impactful bans for later in the series, it might be too late. And so now Drop the Guns are actually going for a pressure point ban, right? Mott was incredibly impactful on that Kiriko on map number 1, whereas Drop the Guns did not play it at all. So, I mean, they pointed out something that was really, really impactful for Drop the Guns, where, I mean, just let's be honest, Random Attempt can just go play Sojourn.
It's a weird thing, because we pointed out how good the DPS line was for Drop the Guns, but there are other characters that do the same thing that those characters were playing, as you just alluded to, right? There is not another character that can do exactly what Orisa does, or exactly what Baptiste does.
Exactly what
so
Kiriko does.
I think either one of those two bans would have been better if you're XYBRAS. I'm just saying from like XYBRAS perspective. I think BAP or Orisa would have been a much better ban for you, because then it changes up what Drop the Guns has to do entirely.
All right, we got a substitution in here. So Av out, Blizzard into the lineup here. This is the wrong game, bud. I know you went and did the stuff at T1, but put the spike away. Put the spike away. It's wrong game. Get it out. Okay, he pulled it closer. Okay, getting ready for map number 2 here. It's going to be, like we said, Suravasa. So we saw the bans. It's going to be Kiriko Cassidy out of the pool for the moment. With that, I imagine that the plans are going to remain largely the same. I can't imagine Ray going anywhere but the Orisa here. But the big question mark, I think, is Hunter, right? Because, you know, we can talk about these other players all day, but this is the Diamond tier where the gameplay kind of warps around what your tank is comfortable on and what your tank is willing and able to play. And so now that we see that these bans are not targeting a particular tank or weakness for this XYBRAS squad, it's going to be, does Hunter have it in him to swap off that Reinhardt? We're not going to get our answer just yet, and go over to the Ramatra, or even a Zarya would be kind of cool here at this point. But it's actually going to be the D.Va. So I actually like this a lot. Hunter is showing off that flexibility that he's got, and it's going to be the D.Va here for the XYBRAS.
Yeah, I actually like this pick a lot as well, and Blizzard not playing Junkrat. I'm very surprised by this, honestly. I like this composition from XYBRAS coming out, initially at the very least.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. With that ban on the Cassidy, I was kind of expecting the worst, but this is looking very, very good for them. Unfortunately, Dex caught out in no man's land. Gedster receiving a swift 3 burst to the head from the biotic rifle. That's Anna's thing, isn't it? I'm stupid. I might be. I don't know. What I do know is that XYBRAS has lost this fight in very quick fashion.
Yep, quick cap coming through from Drop the Guns. It's kind of the same thing we were seeing on map number 1. Just XYBRAS losing somebody before the engage like really even happens. So they just need to do a little better job of not allowing that to happen so early.
Alright, Blizzard on the off angle looking for the pressure on this. Orisa has to pop the Fortify early in this fight. Gonna lose out on that one. Master Chief going out, but it's Mott this time that gets caught out in no man's land. Hunter gonna lose the mech here. Unfortunately, flying right into a corner, and Drop the Guns now in one fight territory to take this first point.
Yeah, I mean, Drop the Guns comp really good at just kind of sitting back. Ray is absorbing all of the aggro, and like we're just seeing Random Attempt is just kind of chilling back in the back, getting these free shots off on this Emray, just not really having a care in the world, quite honestly. So they're gonna have to put some more pressure on Random Attempt if they can.
All right, 90% and counting here, but it's Gedster just gets backhanded by Fennec, who's come through with a couple of early picks in this fight. Immortality Field forced. Blizzard converged upon, and this market point will belong to Drop the Guns. On a roll right now.
Oh yes, they absolutely are that. And XYBRAS Dex is going to swap over to the Brig. We're going to actually see the Juno Brig come out. So a little bit different style composition, but not necessarily a bad choice here. But, I mean, Drop the Guns has so many ultimates going into this next fight, namely that Override Protocol. Random Attempt has been so good on this map.
I mean, they've almost got 5 here, where XYBRAS are struggling to get to the third one, and there's one of the 5 for Drop the Guns. And, I mean, that's just immediately the fight towards Drop the Guns here. They're just trying to delay the inevitable, as Drop the Guns will take the flip.
They do indeed. Again, great fight. Getting that one stick out was really all you ended up needing in that moment. Well, Blizzard and Gets are going to have to land something here. Pulse Bomb going to go out and not going to catch on to anybody, though.
Did force the Immortality Field, so that important cooldown is invested. Self-destruct invested here from Hunter. Can he find anything with it? We're not going to. We're going to see the Override Protocol in from Random Attempt. Hunter is able to track down Ray, so Tankless is dropped the guns here. Override Protocol will fade into the afterlife here as the trades continue to roll through, moving into this small room where Blizzard is supremely uncomfortable right now. It's just Mott left to heal, and I mean, this is not where you want to see after that first pick of the tank in this fight. Still ticking for Drop the Guns. Hunter Tane trying to remain in this mech for as long as possible. Again, Ray proving that he is immensely difficult to get rid of. I mean, just so hard to break for this Zebra squad. We're going to see the Orbital Ray invested from Mott to try and keep this fight alive and possible. Blizzard able to come through with that railgun shot, and it will be a fight win, but it was an expensive, long, grueling fight.
It did end up being very expensive. You had to use both your support ults there if you're Zebras. And Drop the Guns, again, Spring's going to have another one of these Amp Matrixes. I swear, I think Drop the Guns has won every single fight that Springs has popped in Amp Matrix. They're always in such good position. They always catch somebody out of place. So you got to do something about that. And then Fenikasu has been sick with these Pulse Bombs as well. They're going to have their Pulse Bomb online also.
They're looking for the stick. Will not connect, but getting pretty close to that. Okay, you see the Amp Matrix now. Gedster does have their own Pulse Bomb. Gonna have to use the recall to get back onto the point. Unfortunately, whiffing the Pulse Bomb wide left. Gonna be forced to use this overclock. Unfortunately, nothing doing there as Drop the Guns move to map point here on Suravasa.
Yeah, just unfortunate that you had to use both your DPS ults there. If you're Zebras, Blizzard going to be swapping over to that classic Junkrat now. No more of that Sojourn nonsense for the rest of this map, at least. I imagine at least. But no ults really available for Zebras, and I mean, Drop the Guns coming up on that Override Protocol and Terror Surge and the Sound Barrier. It's going to be a really tough fight for Zebras to try and take.
I mean, best case scenario, you play it safe and you force out a couple of these ultimates. Blizzard under a lot of pressure, trying to spam this high ground. Gonna see the aggression down onto the low ground as Hunter gets active on the height. Mortality Field forced as Terror Surge comes down, dispatches of Dex. Hunter has the self-destruct, but with 3 players down, you're more than happy to have just gotten rid of those 2 important ultimates before giving up this point.
Yeah, I mean, great job there. I mean, Random Attempt once again just being an absolute menace on this Emre. And Drop the Guns just continuing to not really get heavily pressured. Like, Ray is just constantly in the face of the Zebras backline. And Zebra's just not able to do the same to the backline of Drop the Guns right now.
A bit of posturing here. We're going to see the Override Protocol here very, very soon. Now, well, right on cue. Going to be right into the shield. That'll be Dex meeting his end once again. And Mod is able to dispatch of Random Attempt, but it just won't be enough here, as at 70%, they do have the closer spawn, but this is going to be a very difficult thing to come back from, especially with Hunter being staggered like he is.
No, absolutely agreed. I mean, you have an Orbital Ray to potentially engage with here, but I don't know if you're going to even be able to get a good touch, honestly.
No, I thought they had the closer spawn, but turns out they had the very, very far spawn. They do get a touch, but, I mean, it's just Finnick with another Pulse Bomb. We're going to see Malga Cat here as Hunter Tane comes in with the slam, but unfortunately, Springs just exists. Springs exists, right? A couple of picks here for the Baptiste, and, I mean, these supports just putting on a show to close out these first 2 maps. First, it was Upriser, Then it was Spring's 2-0 lead for Drop the Guns after 2.
And yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the prime example of why I was like, hey, I think we need to ban the Baptiste or the Orisa, but one of the two probably needs to go because, like I said, I've watched Drop the Guns quite a few times. I have not seen anybody in the Diamond tier that is anywhere near Springs on that Baptiste in particular, and that is why you see Drop the Guns run that, like, almost exclusively.
Yeah. I mean... We've seen her be exceptional on this character so far this series. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, Ray is just soaking the damage, right? Ray doesn't appear in the kill feed all that often, for the most part, but, I mean, everybody else is. Ray is doing his job very, very well, playing that Orisa, not meant to be in the kill feed, just enabling everybody else to take over. I mean, 2 deaths max on the side of Drop the Guns, and an unfortunate game for the side of Zebras. They're gonna need to figure something out as they come through the other side of this break, because right now what they're doing is not working.
No, it's really not. I think it starts with the bans, quite honestly. I have not agreed with Zebra's bans so far. I think their bans could have helped them out a lot on these last 2 maps.
I can't help but agree at the moment. Right now, 2-0 lead for Drop the Guns. It's not match point yet, but Zebra's running out of time. They're going to have a few minutes to plan, and when we come back, we'll see if that plan will work. All right, welcome back, everybody. Right now, Drop the Guns. I mean, they're on another level, right? And for Zebras on the other side, who are down 2-0, like I said before the break, it's not quite match point yet. They're not on their final life, but they're only an inch from it, right? So, you know, with as knowledgeable as I know that these players are, right? You look at the minds on this team, even if, you know, mechanically they are, you know, not the best on the planet. They are very smart players. I have to believe that these players on this Zebra squad are going to be able to put together a plan to at least fight back, right? Because that Suravasa was not close for even a second. And so moving forward, as they have their next map selection and the first ban again, we need to see what these minds can do to put us at ease.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And I tend to think that this should be an instance where you take Drop the Guns somewhere that they don't want to go, right? I think you need to go for like a Rialto or a Dorado here. Maybe even a Numbani, right? Just pick something where Drop the Guns can't play the exact same thing that they've been playing on all these other maps, and it appears as though they are not going with my idea.
At the very least, King's Row, which is where we're going for map number 3, is flexible, right? I mean, we all know King's Row as this historical place where Rush was king and nothing could ever beat Rush on King's Row, but that's just not the case anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. We saw that Hunter was willing to play the Diva on Suravasa, and I think Diva's even stronger on King's Row. High ground control, especially on the first objective, is super duper important, and just as important on the third objective. So now, as we head into our hero bans, you have to believe these minds. We know that they know what they should do. Are they going to do it? I feel like you have to go Orisa here. You have to protect the Diva ban if that's what you plan on doing, right? Yeah. You have to protect your plan here, because I mean, at the moment, it just kind of feels like Drop the Guns knows you before you know what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in Drop the Guns 2 bans, right? They banned Junkrat. Blizzard loves playing that Junkrat on probably the best Junkrat map that we could have here. Then they get rid of Mott's Kiriko, because we saw how good Mott was playing on that Kiriko map number 1. So now Zebra's going to have this opportunity. I tend to agree with you. You need to get rid of the Orisa here, because it gets rid of the thing Ray's been playing. And I was just about to say, I think they're going to ban the Baptiste.
Okay. I don't love it on King's Row, because I think Baptiste is maybe the worst he's going to be on King's Row. At least out of the 3 maps we played. Is decent from the high ground. I will give him that much. I would rather have the tank be banned, because now Drop the Guns are going to more than likely go after that Diva, which is exceptionally powerful on King's Row, especially on those first and third points. Like I said, high ground control is super important. So if you're going to force Hunter to play, not what I expected.
I was actually just about to say, the last time they played this map, Zebras was almost able to get a full hold off by running Cat Bastion, so that actually does make some sense to me. That Drop the Guns would get rid of that Bastion, but I like your idea of the Diva ban better, because I don't think Zebras is planning to run the Cat Bastion this time.
I mean, that's just a lack of ball knowledge on my side, to be honest with you. I will be the first to admit I did not watch their last matchup, but I was making my conjecture based off of what we have seen throughout this series so far. And we are getting a couple of substitutions coming in here for map number 3. So I'm back into the lineup. And it's actually one of the backline supports here coming out for Drop the Guns. Jaden entering the lineup in place of Springs. Springs, obviously, opting to play that Baptiste, and if she cannot, we'll let Jaden take over.
That's a wild hat. But, you know, we accept all hats around
That's
here.
beast. That's beast.
I'm surprised it actually sits up there like that.
I love the welcome mat too. I think that's fire.
Yeah, absolutely. And good showing here from Jaden.
Surely they take the hat off, right? Oh man, yeah. So I'm trying to visualize the path to victory here for the side of XYBRAS, right? And at the moment, I think it all hinges around whether Hunter can find value on D.Va as a less of a dive tank and maybe more of a peel tank, right? Because we've been seeing a lot of these early picks come through where you do not want them to come through for the side of XYBRAS. We've seen Mott go down. We've seen
Gedster.
Yeah, Ged go down. I mean, that's again me being a little bit stupid head. It's just these early picks come through for the side of XYBRAS where they're down a player before a fight can even start.
Yeah.
They need to find a way to mitigate that. And D.Va's just the best at doing that for the most part. That's why she's generally considered super powerful right now. I can't imagine that what we see in the attacker spawn right now is going to stay. The Winston might. I actually don't hate the Winston all that much, but we're going to need to find some way to, at the very least, mitigate those early picks, or it's just going to be another long map for XYBRAS.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You got to do something about these early kills. You got to lay some kind of pressure onto random attempt. This Emre was just absolutely oppressive on the last map. Now, granted, you don't have to deal with the Baptiste anymore, which could help. But now it looks like XYBRAS all having to pause. Maybe they're just having some difficulties at the moment.
Yeah, seems like Dyke's having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, it's I mean, it's gonna be hard no matter what, right? I don't think that this composition that we see in the spawn is going to leave the spawn in the next 5 seconds. When we come back to the game, we see Kat Zenyatta in the back line with Widowmaker might, you know, you're going to take a pot shot. Soav could play the on-run. We'll see. But, man, this is going to be very, very hard if XYBRAS can't get on the same page, because they, you know what, I've been saying the same thing over and over again. Let's see, what can they do? They need to be able to focus out. They need to be able to focus out random attempt, right? Random attempt has been getting so much value on this this hit scan roll, right? Whether it's the Cassidy or the Emre, and if you're running a dive, that has to be your first priority, right? You need to jump that Emre. If you're playing the D.Va, I think you have to play a little bit more defensively, protect your team. But if you're playing the Winston, you have to get aggressive. Winston does not play conducively to safe gameplay for the most part. You need to jump that guy, go around the Orisa if you have to. Because like Orisa can stick around for a long time, and Ray is proven to be exceptional at sticking around for a long time on this Orisa, but Orisa can only do so much if they're by themselves. So if you can jump around and take advantage of the squishiness of the characters around the Orisa, that's your win con. You have to be able to get these squishy characters out of the way so that you can find your way through the Orisa.
And I mean, the big key is you got to have some assistance, right? I am someone who plays a lot of Winston. You cannot do it by yourself. It's got to be a coordinated, timely dive. And if you can do that, though, the Winston can look incredibly powerful, but it requires a lot of coordination, and it's really, really hard for teams to pull off.
And it's like, Winston is actually very strong into Orisa for that reason, right? If you're coordinated, and like this team doesn't get here without coordination, right? They are not here for no reason, and I struggle to believe that they can't pull it together to do what they need to do. If it's gonna be the Echo, it's gonna be the Echo, right? Soab, you know, plays some of these more unconventional characters, and you know, it's not normally the DPS that's paired with the Winston, but it's not the worst in the world, you know. And I could see Blizzard going over to, you know, a Tracer or a Genji or something to that effect if they should so need it. I imagine that this is just let's see what we can get with the cat hook.
I've seen Hunter run this extensively, so this could be real right now.
I don't think this is the game plan to beat this composition. Not much happening, just a lot of posturing. We're gonna see the Roadhog come onto the high ground here. Hook on to Jaden and will actually find the carry, but Dex is dead at the hands of Random Attempt. Okay, so you know what? It wasn't exactly the way I had it drawn out, but it was kind of, you know, what I was talking about. Ignore the Orisa and the rest of the things go well enough, I guess.
Yeah, you know, fly the Roadhog up to the high ground.
Why not?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's nothing
all
left
we
to
gotta
lose.
do is land a hook. We land the one hook, and we are absolutely in there, and that is what the Zebras have done, and they did it like almost automatically. So I have already swapping. We're seeing a Zarya Symmetra now, and back to a more, I would say, standard composition. Just add in a Junkrat.
Make Ray's life a living hell to deal with these beams right now until they can get that perk online. We're gonna see Hunter collecting a lot of charge as Upriser goes down. A lot of charge going over to this Zarya already. Soev actually going down here, unfortunately. Need to get rid of this M-Ray. Unfortunately, cannot track it down the M-Ray well enough, but will come around this first corner here on B.
Yeah, getting some good push here are Zebras. They're being kind of unpredictable right now, right? And that's kind of been their advantage all season, is nobody can really narrow down what they're doing. Here comes that override protocol, though, from Random Attempt.
Mott cannot go down to this, but will, unfortunately. The good thing is that Hunter gets away with all of that charge, so able to get away with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Keeping your Zarya up and healthy is a really good positive here to take. And yeah, Rip Tire. Blizzard has to be big with this tire. It can be a really good engage point for the side of Zebras.
That's a good call out. The Venture from Local, who is actually new in the lineup as well. Didn't quite see that on the screen, but it's going to be a two-piece Riptire, Upriser, and Local both falling to Blizzard's Riptire. Ray getting thrown straight into the mix and ignore everybody, and the Orisa will melt. Blizzard with a hat trick in the fight. Force back the last player. I believe that's Random Attempt, and they will get very close to completing this second point.
And this is honestly looking a lot better for Zebras right now. You know, they got a Kitsune online. It's matched by Drop the Guns, but at least it's matched, right? Like, you're not having to deal with, like, some mismatching ultimate timings here. And if Dex can manage to get to this sound barrier, I think it can look really good for Zebras to take this next fight.
I mean, we're going to see the Kitsune Rush aggressing here for the side of Jaden, answered by Mott, but Blizzard good for the pick on the Local. We're going to see I mean, that was just a spectacular Graviton surge in from Hunter. It was expensive, but it does secure them objective B here. Now into the final stretch, they're gonna have just over 4 minutes to cap this third point.
4.5 minutes is absolutely fantastic. We're gonna see Ray swapping over to that Ramatra here, and Locale gonna be going over to that Echo also. So ultimates are now pretty much even because of that. And Uprise are going to be the only one that really has anything with this sound barrier. I imagine Drop the Guns might even do like a sound barrier engage for this next fight.
Playing safe. Got to know that Uprisers at least close to this sound barrier. Dex comes through, can't quite find the boop into the underworld, but random attempt does find the pick onto Soav. So right now this is just a posturing fight. Try to find out if they can, you know, build up to these last couple of ultimates that they need.
They are certainly going to try to. Blizzard getting up to that tire, and Soab going to have the attack visor as well. Uprise doing a good job of just holding on to that sound barrier. That's the really important ult that Drop the Guns have, but they do have the override protocol as well.
You can imagine Upriser, well, not going to use the sound barrier actually to mitigate that Riptire, but will instead try to use it to come back in the fight. That sound barrier goes away very, very quickly as the tactical visor is loosed here. Lucio is in danger. Can't quite find the boop there. Does actually find Hunter. That's huge, but unfortunately, Blizzard is going to be the one that finds the answer. We're going to actually see, okay, coming back in this fight, know that they can win it. Random attempt with the override protocol, finding the pick with this ultimate, and good for the rebound.
I mean, that's kind of a crazy comeback from Drop the Guns, quite honestly. Zebras had that fight won dead to rights, but Uprise are just not able to really be killed, stalling that point long enough for Random Attempt to make it back and be able to pop their ultimate as well. And now we're in what I would say is a relatively even fight, quite honestly. Might even give the advantage to Drop the Guns with them having that copy.
Okay, well, Random Attempt is dead. So that it's going to be a very interesting thing as we copy the Ramatra of Array does immediately get melted as Locale just explodes as this Kitsune Rush is in play for Mott. The Boops still trying to come through. This time will not connect for Upriser as the bubble management is immaculate for Hunter Tane. Need to stay alive. They just can't clean up the fight. You need to clean up the fight on the point, Hunter.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. It was going so well for Zebras there, but like you said, they just didn't quite clean up the point. And it's been very consistently happening now. I mean, it's probably just an instance where Hunter thinks it's so taken care of on the point, I can just go ahead and try and deal with the rest of them. Nice shot.
Well, Upriser's dead, so this Riptire can find infinite value if it's not cleansed by Jaden.
Very true.
Blizzard, you need to use this Riptire now, Blizzard! Because Upriser's back and he has sound barrier. We're gonna see the Kitsune Rush. Dex has the sound barrier of his own. We're just gonna kite it, actually. Riptire comes through, trying to bait the sound barrier from Upriser, but will not be baited into using that ultimate. We're gonna find one, and Upriser just holding on to this old sound barrier invested into the Graviton Surge. Dextron answers with one of his own. Dex able to be tracked down, but it's, oh my goodness, like, the fights just keep turning back on their heads to go towards Drop the Guns. It's their synergy together. They're just locked in all as one hive mind.
They absolutely are. Like, they have the response every single time, right? And the moments that Zebras has had the advantage, they haven't cashed in on it. So now we're going into these even fights, and we're seeing that Drop the Guns just has that one extra ultimate to win them this fight. Because again, right here, they have the copy, and here comes that.
Looking for a hook is Hunter. Will not be given for free, but Blizzard has to get the touch. Does not quite get them into overtime, though, just a little bit too early. Good push for Zebras, but just, I mean, couldn't quite put it together in the end.
No, they just couldn't quite clean up those fights there on that third point. It is hard to cap third point of Kings Row, to be fair. But the way that Zebras were just rolling through first and second point, I definitely thought it would have went a little bit better for them based on what we were seeing. And, you know, they were getting good value out of their ultimates. They just weren't winning the fights cleanly. They were, like, losing somebody every single time, even when they were winning.
Yeah, I mean... I'm struggling, right? I don't really have the words to, like, they made this map very, very close, right? Zebras looked exceptional on the first 2 points, like you said. I'm seriously, I'm at a loss right now because Zebras looked like they had it in hand, but it just falls apart right at the end of the fight, and I mean, I just don't. It seems like the shot calling just isn't there right now, right? They need to converge on these targets together, and it's just not happening right now, and because of that, and because of Drop the Guns, their experience, their coaching, right, as we get a look at Spec, who is an exceptional player in his own right and an exceptional mind for the game as well. I mean, this team has got two very, very intelligent players on it in Drop the Guns, in Ray and Spec as the coach. I mean, it's... They know what they're supposed to be doing, and I know that Zebras know as well, but it's this comfortability that Drop the Guns has together that Zebras just doesn't seem to quite have yet.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that can come down to something as simple as, you know, Zebras doesn't scrim, you know.
Sure.
They aren't in scrim environments. Like, they just kind of play together, and they just play whatever they want for the most part, you know. And they've made it here pretty much just off of that, because as you've mentioned several times before, you know, we both know all of these people on Zebras are individually very talented, but they cannot seem to bring it together at the moment. And that's been the difficulty, and that's hard to do. You know, it's hard. That's always the hardest part whenever you're putting a team together, is to get everybody with that target prioritization. It is so difficult to do. I mean, you know, just from playing on a team with me previously, it's very, very difficult to get everyone on that exact same page.
It helps when players aren't yelling at each other, which I don't think is going on the side for Zebras. But
very true.
Yeah, it's they're looking a little bit lost right now, and I think you can kind of see it in their faces. They're smiling, but the smiles are a little weak. Their eyes are a little sad. You can tell that they're feeling the weight of this 2-0 deficit kind of weighing on them, right? It's heavy when you know that you had it so close to finally finding your footing in this series and trying to lock down their first map of the series, and it just goes away like that. So, I mean, they're going to have a chance, of course. They have a win con here on the defense side. They did have a very strong push into Objective C, but they need to finish it as we head into the attack of Drop the Guns. Random attempt looking for that pick. Soab from the skies, looking with those try shots to try and find some value. Hunter now on this Orisa, posturing for some way to go in. Straight into shield. Jaden is very low, you see up there in the top left, but unfortunately Random Attempt is just able to track down Soab and drop that Echo. There is a nice trade with Jaden finally going down. Random Attempt, no Siphon Pistol, no speed boost to speak of, so will get chased down, you would think. Finally, Mott is able to get rid of it, but Mott, being in the back line, not able to stay alive much longer than that. So this point will belong to the Zebras, even with Hunter still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. I think, I don't know. I kind of like the idea. So I have disconnecting again. Yes, that's classic Soab's internet. Right there, quite honestly. But what I was gonna say was, I almost think that Hunter might have a better time just trying to mirror this composition, almost just go on to the Ramatra and just try and live a little bit longer in that brawl exchange like that, or go over to like a Diva style again and try and dive that back line. But I don't know. I don't tend to like the Orisa pick, generally speaking here.
So we've also lost locale, I guess. Yeah, it's an interesting one to be sure. just waiting for these players to get back in here. Oh man, I mean, I don't disagree. I think that Hunter is a little bit more uncomfortable on this Orisa. Just like structurally, not even talking structurally to the composition. Hunter is clearly more comfortable on other characters, but trying to be that stalwart tank is, you know, a little bit out of the wheelhouse, at the very least in competition. Might be an okay ranked Orisa. I haven't seen a whole lot of Hunter's, you know, gameplay outside of this. But I mean, Drop the Guns did exactly what I talked about XYBRAS needing to do, right? They ignored the Orisa because Hunter was the last man standing in that fight. So the Orisa is very, very good if you can protect your backline and your whole team, but not so much if you're the last player standing.
I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm almost of the belief XYBRAS should just run out on like Malga Reaper and just full send it at Drop the Guns right now, you know? Because that's a character, Malga, you can't stop Malga from full sending it into your backline.
Alright, well, another compositional swap, excuse me. Soab is on the Hanzo now. Going full comfort. I mean, like, obviously compositionally it's not the best, but I don't hate it. You know, you got nothing left to lose. You might as well play the characters you know you can get value on.
No, I absolutely agree. Like, and if you can land like a stray headshot as well with the Hanzo, that could be incredibly valuable. But again, it's going to be really hard to take space against this composition unless like Blizzard or Soab just gets a stray kill with some of this damage.
I mean, that's a really good trap there in on it to the Ramatra. Blizzard has this Riptide ready to go. 12% before. Upriser has the sound barrier. Going around the backside, and Upriser will meet his end at the hands of the Riptide. Coming around the low ground is Lowcal going up into the sky now. Not too scared of what XYBRAS has to worry about from that high position. Now just waiting for the Lucio to return.
Drop the Guns doing a good job of just backing off right there, waiting for their Lucio. XYBRAS not able to really capitalize on getting that early elimination there.
Alright, has the Terra Surge ready to go? This is just going to be a road crossing scenario here. We're going to see the Terra Surge, I mean, a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of fight here. As Lowcal will lose out on the duplication. Ray stuck in the trap, very low, has the Annihilation. We're going to see the Swift Step, but in the back line, 3 players are already dead, and once again, it is just Ray, or rather Hunter Tane, left to pick up the slack and not able to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, Drop the Guns just doing a really good job of, like you said, they know they can't kill the Orisa, so let's just go around it. And I said before, I like the Rhine. If you're going to play the Rhine, I don't mind the Ramatra nearly as much as I mind playing against the Orisa. So I think Hunter can potentially get some good value here, but I also think you might want to play a Mei if you're going to try and play that Rhine.
So from the far high ground, see how this is going to work out for them. And the ultimate is that Override Protocol, Dragon Strike, and Riptire, answered by the Override Protocol, and it's a good one indeed here. Lowcal and Random Attempt, both good for the picks. We're going to see that Siphon Pistol to get up to the point where Mott is at, and I mean, Blizzard's able to take 2 with him, but I mean, this point is just inching closer to that golden box now.
It really is. And now Hunter going to try that Winston once again. So I'm going to have a Dragon to at least potentially clear this point off if for a moment. But XYBRA's going to have to get a kill somewhere like that.
Yeah, Mott, good for the first. But Drop the Guns knows that they have plenty of time to play with here. They're going to build up their ultimates, and I mean, they've only got 9 meters left to go. So they know their win con.
Yeah, they absolutely do. All they got to do is win one fight, and they can build up. They can wait like two whole fights and build more ultimates. Blizzard managing to get a kill right there. That's the power of Junkrat right there, people.
Yeah, just the pick potential is insane with these two DPS characters. The spam so powerful if you can get it going. Echo can be a problem though, as we see for Blizzard. Gonna see. This is a problem. We're gonna see the dive in from the Echo actually onto the Winston. Blizzard has this Riptire just about ready to go. 2.5 minutes as the Primal Rage comes through. Very close to giving up this point, but Locale with the Primal Blade, good for one more. And now with just 3.3 meters left to go, and Blizzard not able to use the Riptire, this is going to be a match point here in the grand finals for Drop the Guns.
It eventually will be. Blizzard not going to manage to find a kill with that. Hunter finally going to fall. And there it is. Like you said, 3-0 lead for Drop the Guns. Going to get themselves to match/championship point here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a competitive map for the most part, right? It's the best that the side of XYBRAS has looked tonight, and they brought out some cute strategies that had varying degrees of success. But ultimately, when you've got a team as strong as Drop the Guns is, those cute like pocket picks will, they're not going to work in the end. Because once Drop the Guns knows what you're doing, and as smart as these players are, they're going to learn and figure out how to play around those compositions. And I think we saw that perfectly with Ray being able to move to a variety of tanks throughout the course of this map and take advantage of everything that Hunter tried to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely agreed. And then there never was really a response for the override protocols. Like, there hasn't been for this whole series, quite frankly. Random Attempt has just been able to go off every time with those override protocols, but that's just really smart. They're timing it out to where they're waiting for Dex to use that sound barrier for something else, and then they're popping the override protocol.
Yeah, their ult management is perfect. Their fight management is perfect. Their comeback potential is ridiculous in fights where they should not be able to win. I mean, we saw them win fights down 3 players. This Drop the Gun squad is something unreal. Match point for Drop the Guns. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, XYBRAS have one more life to play with. We'll see if they're gonna take advantage or if Drop the Guns will just blaze their path to a championship.
Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Lots of love. Love. Got lots of love. Love. Got lots of love. Love. Got lots of love. Love.
One more map separates Drop the Guns from a Golden Post season. 0 maps dropped from start to finish. And now it's up to the Zebras to try and spoil their fun. A reverse sweep in call for Zebras if they want to take this game away from Drop the Guns. It is, of course, their map selection, and for the first time, we are going to a map where, at least in my opinion, Brawl is not the dominant composition, right? We're going to Rialto for map number 4, and I would argue that Poke is much more prevalent on this map. I'm interested to see, do we see, like a Sigma, an Orisa? Again, I expect to see Orisa, unless it gets banned. Even the Domina could be in effect here on Rialto.
That is very true. You get a lot more options here on this map, I think, at least. Zebra's bans, I think, will tell us for sure if what way they're thinking of going here. But with Zebras having this first ban online, I tend to think that you might go with like one of the hit scans, whichever one you're not going to play. I don't know if that's the MRA per se on this map because of just the distance you tend to play at on Rialto, but you could get rid of that MRA because you just have not been able to nail random attempt down, and I don't think the Brawl tank is nearly as oppressive on this map as it is on the other maps.
No, I would tend to agree. I think the Orisa is the weakest it's going to be in this series. But it will be the Orisa ban. Like, it's not the best ban in the world, but I don't dislike the ban, right? Because Orisa does like to be in the face of the opponent, but she can just as well play from mid-range to long range as well. I mean, her drop-off is actually quite long. So in a poke composition, Orisa can be very, very annoying. So I don't dislike it. I just would have rather had the Orisa ban be earlier in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you for sure. And Drop the Gun's going to go with that Cat ban because, as we said before, they've played Cat Bastion before. Doesn't mean they're going to actually play the Cat Bastion again, but, it's just Drop the Gun saying, this is the only thing that can really hurt us right now, is if they were to do something like that.
All right. As we've said before, one more map, and I mean, we've got a whole swap here, and I think that this just speaks to the the differences that we're going to see on a map like Rialto. Gedster entering the lineup once again. You see locking in to try and rebound from that Suravasa. On the other side, Finnick returning to the lineup as well as Springs, but new to the lineup is Spicy. On the tank roll, the Orisa gone. So too is Try Hard Ray. They're obviously changing up their composition. So let's get it rolling.
I'll say, like, the big thing I'm actually kind of curious about coming into this next map is what tank are they going to opt for? Because I've seen a surprising amount of teams actually play that Hazard. So it would be kind of wild to see the Hazard on this map, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing such a thing. And then Springs coming back in too. I don't know if I love the Baptiste on this map, but I'm sure Springs could play something else potentially.
She's exceptional on the character, and spoiler alert, I don't think that she's going to deviate from the norm. I mean, if you're gonna run a poke composition, like if they want to run hard poke, right? They could play the Baptiste Zenyatta with a Sigma. I think that would be really funny. I don't think they're going to. That just doesn't seem like it's something that Uprisor would want to do. I'm sure Zenyatta is in his wheelhouse. It's actually going to be... Okay. It is hard poke, not quite the direction that I was, talking about, but just as valid, right? Uprisor is going to be on the Iari with that Hazard, like you were talking about. Hazard's still exceptionally strong right now, so not quite all that surprising.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you like that best of both worlds in a sense. If you're someone who's not quite as comfortable running that diva, the Hazard it's a little bit more comfortable to maneuver on for somebody who likes to play more brawly style tanks. So I definitely see the appeal there. And we're seeing a Far Mercy in 2026. Let's see what Blizzard can do on this Far.
All right. Into the fray here. Guess they're looking for a heady. Finds a body, though. We're going to see Blizzard with that Pharah. Nothing quite out of the ordinary just yet happening. Hunter still looking for that early hook. A lot of pressure being put onto this Hazard, though, from the Orisa, or the Pharah of Blizzard. Has to back down. His random attempt, even without the Mercy Pocket, is just doing a lot of damage. That's ridiculous. With the Mercy Pocket and everything, just random attempt is able to explode Blizzard and Mott.
That is kind of crazy to just get pure shots like that and just kill them through that damage anyways. Absolutely insane, but Hunter and Dex going to be looking for some shenanigans here on the flank.
Headed back in here momentarily. Roadhog is on the high ground. I repeat, Roadhog is no longer on the high ground. I repeat, Roadhog is no longer on the high ground. Getting rid of that that turret is pretty good. Spiky wall out, and Hunter with 13 HP. Just, man, I don't think the Roadhog is the play, Hunter.
It's gonna be tough to make it work, honestly. And Blizzard getting in a lot of damage does manage to get the kill onto random attempt. That could be the opening that they need, but they lose Gedster in the process.
Yeah, that's tough. Gedster is one to return quickly, and now they are on a hard dive composition with Gedster on the Tracer. Pulse Bomb will not connect. Very, very luckily for Blizzard. It was extremely close, to be fair. Oh, well, yeah, I respect it. I respect it, I guess. That's Springs, though, right? Just proving everyone why she's one of the best flag supports in the Diamond tier.
Yeah, I mean, Springs is disgusting on this Baptiste. I've been saying it all series, and it's proving to continue to be true here on this map. Hunts are going to be going over onto that Winston. I don't necessarily dislike the play, but you gotta have the follow-up damage with you when you land on the Winston, and you've lost Mod already.
Yeah, Mod's down. I mean, you need to find a lot of value with this Rocket Barrage before anything else can happen, but it's just not going. Nothing is going right for the side of this XYBRAS squad right now. Everything for Drop the Guns. They've got just about 5 ultimates online, and Phoenix is basically online. It's Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, really, that's like 2 clips maybe. XYBRAS does have a lot online as well. They're gonna have to get some value. I was gonna say out of this barrage, but Blizzard has opted to swap over to the Junkrat once more. And Random Attempt probably gonna engage with this override protocol, and it's been crazy good all series.
Hello.
Who we inviting?
Mara, get to work. Okay. Huntertane is bursted down, unfortunately. Dex is able to find one with the Captive Sun, having gone over to that Yari. And this is actually kind of a scrappy fight, but it's just the Mercy at this point. And with the spiky wall, Spicy doesn't need to aim, and with 5 seconds on the clock, it's going to be hard to touch. That will be a touch, I guess. Okay. It's just Hunter right now. We're going to see the Captive Sun not going to quite connect. Upriser is probably just fine with that. Having only held them to 71 meters. A very strong defense from this Drop the Gun squad.
Yeah, they don't have very far to go here, quite frankly. They only need to win 2 fights at the most. Maybe it's a situation where XYBRAS doesn't even take a fight until the corner, and then you only need to really win 1 fight.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, there's just been no footing since that, since that first map. Like, this has been a hard series for XYBRAS. I don't expect it to get any easier here in this 4th map. I mean, at the moment, Drop the Guns, they're just on another level. They're just exceptional. I don't have any more superlatives to talk about this Drop the Guns. I mean, there's a reason they swept the voting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it feels like the person that didn't get the award, Springs, is the person we've been talking about the most throughout the entire series. So that just shows you how strong the team really is and has been for this entire season. I mean, I don't believe they've dropped a map for like most of the season. Maybe they've dropped like a single map somewhere, but it hasn't been very much. Here we go, last round potentially. XYBRAS going to be going to this full poke comp now.
Alright. Looking for an opportunity, trying to take advantage of anything that they can find this XYBRAS squad. Backing off, looking to try and find something. Spicy with the wall directly onto the pillar, not quite where you want that to go. Mott on the off angle. Sees 1, sees 2, now having to back it down because that Genji is extremely dangerous. Volley in, can't quite find the pick. But as this cart inches forward, they need to even take less of a fight to win this map out. And with 2 players down, it's going to be, well, now impossible to come back for this XYBRAS squad. 4 players dead, 1 remains. I mean, it's looking dire here, Shadow.
It absolutely is. Maybe Hunter can get a touch, but I'm not sure.
Blizzard was the only opportunity, and that's it. Drop the Guns, perfect. In this postseason, I mean, there's really not much left to talk about that we haven't already, right? They were the 1 seed. They were the team to beat. The only maps they dropped this season were in that mid-season tournament. when they lost to Marsupial Madness. After that, perfection. 2 golden, well, at the very least, a golden stage, a golden playoff. Perfect in stage 1. I mean, this team, with that one little exception being the finals of that mid-season tournament, as good of a season as you can possibly have.
Yeah, it was a fantastic season for Drop the Guns, and they absolutely dominated the tier and won in dominating fashion, as we saw here today. And I mean, shout out to Zebras as well, though. 7 seed in this tier. Nobody really thought they would even make it to the grand finals, let alone even past the first round potentially. So kudos to them for making it this far.
I mean, they're doing the XYBA name proud, right? It's an unfortunate end to the season, of course. You don't like to ever see someone go out like that, but ultimately they made it here when only one other team could, right? They fell short in the end, but their fight, their refusal to give up, you can't really ask for more.
Yeah. Very, very true. As we're seeing time and time again, just the ult. It was just constantly for like this entire series, just the ult rotation of Drop the Guns in particular. I really want to shout out because they always had a response for everything that Zebras was doing. Every time Zebras made a good play, Drop the Guns had like a better play to make in response to that. They wouldn't just, yeah, like even right there as a prime example, right? Hunter drops, gets a hook, what happens? Random attempt kills Dex in the process. Stuff like that was constantly happening. They were never just outright getting beat in any fights. They were like getting trades and then managing to turn it completely around because of doing that.
Like, I think the only fights they lost completely outright were early on King's Row and early on Lijiang Tower. Which, I mean, just insanity for this team. Nothing more I can say about them. You know, we don't really do a traditional MVP, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think my MVP is probably Springs. She was dominant throughout this series. You know, she was out for one map, but most of the players were out for one map, right?
Yeah.
I think Random Attempt might be the only one who stayed in the whole time, but the pressure that she was able to provide on the Baptiste throughout that series, with the exception of when it was banned, so she literally couldn't play the Baptiste, I mean, alleviated so much. She was doing so much healing, so much damage. The Baptiste, not considered a traditionally strong hero at the moment, but she was able to bring out his full potential to help lead Drop the Guns to this win here tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see our bans on the screen right now. I mean, honestly, really good bans from Drop the Guns throughout the series. Zebras, I mean, you and I have said a couple of times, yeah, I'm a little iffy on some of those bans potentially, but yeah, great showing overall from Drop the Guns, and honestly, Zebras was doing, it seemed like they were doing the best they could throughout the series, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was probably not the way they wanted to go out, but they were here. I can't really give them any more kudos. Like you said, they were the underdog the whole time. They made it through the upper bracket. They fought their way back into the grand finals from the lower bracket after losing to Drop the Guns in the upper finals. Not much more to say about this squad. By ourselves, we're going to get to talk to them as we get their exit interview on the other side of a break. So stick around. We'll get to talk to both of our teams, see how they're feeling post grand finals in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a couple of representatives here from our runners-up in Zebras. We've got Soab Denom and Dexatron. Guys, obviously, it's not the way y'all wanted the season to end, but I have to know, how are y'all feeling about how y'all played, you know, not just tonight, but throughout the entirety of the postseason?
Honestly, Fletch, we're just happy to be here. Like,
Yeah.
we came in at the 7th seed, having won like 1 or 2 games after like kind of a very interesting and kind of chaos start, like not expecting to get anywhere, and to even make it to the grand finals. Like, you could, I wish we had really taped any of those comms, because we were like feeling it, but we were also just like, yeah, we're just like, we didn't expect to be here. We're already playing on house money, so let's just enjoy the time here.
Yeah, like, and that doesn't mean we didn't take this entire series. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not serious. Like, we did really take this seriously. The last map, we decided to say, hey, we're gonna have some fun. Let's play silly, because we looked at some of the stuff that really worked for us earlier on and saying, like, stuff they would never expect really worked for us. You go back to King's Row with the cat hog, that worked out great. We thought, okay, let's try to do something that will catch them off guard. It didn't work, but hey, I mean, it's something that we know has worked throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't agree more. It seemed like that unexpected piece of it was really helping y'all out throughout King's Row at the very least. And, you know, my question is going to be more in relation to the season, like, in its totality. Do you have, like, any particular moment that, like, stuck out to you throughout the season as, oh, hey, that was a highlight that we had, or that was a funny moment?
Oh, I thought you were thinking of like I thought you were going to hit us with a change point. I mean, I think the best moment was probably our kind of our first victory, realistically, like way back at 3 or 4, because that was kind of, I think, the moment where we were feeling like, all right, we're going to take this serious, and then we started to kind of hit the wall a couple times, and then when we finally got our first victory, we just kind of went, yeah, but we won because we were just doing whatever we wanted to and having fun and just enjoying Overwatch for what it is. So I think that was kind of like the peak, is when we were finally just kind of vibing and doing whatever felt like the most fun in the moment, was when we kind of realized this is what we really should be doing with our time in this like season.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I could go back to a week that was not good for us, and that was the turning point for our season. Like, week 3 was an absolute, like, mentally, game-wise, a terrible week for us. I think there was a lot of players, a lot of, like, the people on the team who were saying, like, we might just finish the season and you know, that's it, or we might even stop right there. But we came back together and basically said, like, hey, we're just gonna have a lot of fun with this from here on out. Who knows how far we'll go? And I mean, you'll see when they pull back up the bracket, like, so I've already said, we're playing on house money. We reverse swept in the first round of the playoffs against a team that beat us very handily in the first week of the season. And we're able to beat some other really good teams to get to where we were here. So, like, the turnaround was just the vibe of everything. Like, everyone kind of, like, I know everyone left this season on a high note, honestly.
I mean, I'm personally pretty proud of how y'all have played, for sure, repping us just well here on the production side. I've got one question that kind of relates to the series. What was up with those bans, y'all? I'm so curious.
So a lot of it was we were trying to hold on to some of the more like impactful stuff, like the Orisa, the Baptiste, that like we knew they were going to bring out. and it kind of just always felt like, well, now's not the like map 1 wasn't the right time, map 2 wasn't the right time, and maps 3 and 4 were like, all right, we might as well just send something that's relevant. So like with the rest of it, like we just kind of went like, what do we not want to see and what do we think is going to be problematic, and then it just kind of became like a guessing game. So we, much like our own style, like I don't know, Dex, like I don't think there was much logic to it. We just kind of felt like what felt like the right pick in the moment.
I mean, we talked about, we just wanted to ban around Ray. Like we
Yeah,
knew
that's
what
really
Ray
it,
was gonna,
yeah.
we knew what Ray was going to play every map, and we knew if we could if we were doing good enough, we were going to be able to force Ray off it. And King's Row was a really high point for us because we forced him off the Orisa over to the Ram. Yeah, they still ended up winning that map, but like we forced him off. But again, I like the ban phase is normally one of the phases that I just never speak in, because it's like it never necessarily like I always just leave that to everyone else.
Yeah.
On the team.
All right, well, that's all I've got for you guys, Soav and Dex. Thank y'all for coming to walk us through this series, y'all. Before we send y'all out, any shout outs y'all'd like to make, anything you'd like to bring up that maybe we did not?
Yeah, there's one very important shout out we have to make here, and Dex kind of alluded to week 3. We need to actually shout out Bullskunk, who you're probably wondering like why. Bullskunk initially played for us for a brief moment of time, and unfortunately kind of caught us stray in like that week in week 3, caught us stray. But it was really us kind of realizing that, you know, like we missed the point of what we were doing. So, you know, like that was really the turnaround. So shout out to Bullskunk for being that light that we needed in the moment. Shout out to, you know, just the entire team who we're all just, we never expected to be here. We never expected to grow and find these talented players. And, you know, shout out Prod. I mean, like we are the Prod, we do the Prod. You guys are the Prod. We know how difficult it is, and it's fun to be on both sides. So I don't know. Shout out you guys. Dex, we miss anybody?
No, like again, everyone on this team, and like if you're wondering if we're gonna be back next season, that's a big question right now. Hunter has ranked out, Mott has ranked out. I know. I think Get is considering playing with another friend or potentially coming back.
Might come. Yeah.
MI and
Give me in the squad.
MI and Mega are very much up in the air. I think right now, I think they're more leaning towards just taking a season off, and that leaves me and Soaf here as well. And it's like if we can find the right people where we can have fun with it, we'll be back. But if not, we are going to start actively recruiting all the prod we possibly can. But again, like this,
who knows?
Like so I've said, this was just an idea where we just wanted to have fun, and it was after week 3, maybe some of the most fun I've ever had playing this game, especially with a great group of friends.
Preach, man.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on an excellent season, runners up in our Season 17 Diamond Tier playoffs. Soav, Dex, the rest of the Zebras, congratulations, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Yep.
Thanks, fam.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now we move forward to our winners interview. We've got Try Hard Ray and Low Cal here representing our champions. Ray, Low Cal, incredibly dominant season from Drop of the Guns. Perfect second stage, perfect playoffs. How are y'all feeling right now?
Amazing, as you can imagine. This is obviously the outcome you want, and really happy with their performance.
For me, super hyped. It was just a really good feeling. Glad we were able to win our coach another chicken sandwich. And glad we were able to cap off what was a really good season. We started from off season. We've been grinding as a team, and I think it really showed itself this entire season.
Yeah, and like, let me tell you a story. So this team, I joined the Overmind server, which is our org, May 3rd of 2025, which was about 14 months ago. That was about the inception of this team. They played a season elsewhere. We made grand finals. We didn't lose a map. We choked in grand finals. Last season we played Plat. We made grand finals with only losing one match previously, and we choked grand finals. So it really feels awesome to finally, third time's the charm and get one in the bag.
Yeah, and I mean, that was actually my question was going to be related to what were your expectations coming into this season since, like you said before, y'all had made the grand finals in the plat tier. Did you think it was going to be as, dominant as it ended up actually being?
God, no. So after last season, you don't win plat tier and then think, well, we didn't win plat tier, so let's go win diamond tier immediately. But we made a couple roster changes. We picked up a fantastic coach in Spectron. We picked up some players mid-season and like Spicy, and Upriser is another huge mention. A lot of experience in postseason. Won probably the most competitive diamond tier of CGL history, and yeah, really big having that experience, I guess. But we were at the beginning of the season, we were just hoping to make playoffs.
Yeah, I was gonna say our expectation was probably, have a winning record, make playoffs. Maybe we get like a fourth place, a third place. We weren't expecting to be able to dominate the way we did and then win the whole thing. It was, I think, like once we started really gelling as our team, once we got everything going and all the pieces clicked and we saw how it was going, then it's like mid-season. We're like, okay, we actually have a chance here to win. So we really locked in and went for it.
I kind of want to talk about the mid-season tournament because that's the only mar on an otherwise golden season, right? What were y'all's comms like after that series ended with Marsupial Madness and y'all looked toward the back half of the season and I just want to know, like, what were y'all talking about to try and get back in the game and then bring it all the way back perfectly?
I'll just say this, like all the drama and stuff aside that happened with Marsupial, we were confident in a rematch with them if it so did come to that. Obviously it didn't. We had like no information on that team heading into grands and for midseason. And the one thing we pride ourselves pretty hard on is we like to scout. We like to know what the other teams like to play, and we have very well-informed bands because of that. That team, we just had no idea what they were going to play, so we were just kind of like completely thrown off by what they did. But once we had info on them, we were pretty confident in a rematch with them. We even had a scrim with them, and we did just fine against them.
Yeah, I mean, it was really grounding at the time, but, like, sometimes that's what you need is just to be grounded and kind of, like, put your head back on straight.
Well, and I've got one more question as well, just related to the season. What was like your favorite moment from this entire season, outside of obviously winning just now, because I know that's going to probably be the top of your list, but any sort of funny moment or anything that just sticks out to you as like, I'm definitely going to remember that for, the rest of the time I'm playing Overwatch?
I guess for me, like, I think it was, maybe it wasn't last week, I don't remember what week it was, but Ray had a really nice Ajax on a Juno on Midtown. It was in playoffs at some point. It was either last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. But it was just one of these crazy plays that like really just turned momentum or whatever. And this is like Ray has really improved recently, and I've been really root for the guy. I think Ray's awesome. Like just seeing like he had gotten some coaching and just like immediately seeing that success, and like especially now in grand finals just looking lights out. I was just so happy to like look at maybe not like a specific moment, but like the progression as a team. Like we had so many players that started at low diamond, and like as individuals we managed to climb into masters. Like I'm the lowest, me and Jaden are the lowest ranked players on the team other than Ray, and we're diamond 1, but we started like way lower than this. And so like Fenny's climbed to high masters, Uprisers climbed to high masters. Like our team has just improved as a whole, and the growth is so fun to watch.
Yeah, for me, I was gonna say the Ray Jacks. Honestly, I didn't expect Lookout to say that. I will say winning Tank Roll Start today was a really awesome thing. I honestly was not expecting that. I still concede, like I said in the interview, I think Hunter should have gotten it, but it was really cool to see just that everyone, thought that and thought I deserved it. And then during the game today, getting the Jax on Hunter Shatter felt pretty good as well on Lijiang Tower. So, and that's the thing. Huge shout outs to Power, EU player, has played in CGL. The Spec got me a VOD review with him. He's a top 500 console player. I mean, he is moving to PC, but he's a top 500 console player. And ever since I had the VOD review and changed my senses and my numbers with all the stuff around, it's been like so much better.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think that probably covers shoutouts then. Yeah. I'm sure y'all have some other people before we send y'all away here. Shoutouts you'd like to make? Anything you'd like to bring up that maybe we did not?
A shout out to Zebras and really the rest of the tier for being a really good sports and like really just positive interactions with the rest of the players and also CGL staff. Like we've ran into like no issues, and yeah, I've just been really happy with the experience overall, so thank you very much.
For me, just huge shout outs to the team and huge shout outs to Spectron. I don't think we would have gotten this far as a team without him being able to do solo VOD reviews, team VOD reviews, give us really good advice when it comes to band phases. And just huge shout outs to everyone who joined this team. I mean, originally it was just me, Locale, and Jaden moving up. So huge shout outs to Spring, Spicy, Upriser, Random, am I forgetting any? And Fenny. Yeah, huge shout outs to all of them, man. Sorry, I forgot your name, Fenny, but you were awesome. You are low-key our carry. So thanks to all of you guys.
All right. Once again, congratulations to you, Ray and Locale, and the rest of Drop the Guns on a season well finished. Perfect in the playoffs. And hopefully we will see y'all again in the very near future.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Shout out Fish.
Shout out Fish. A quick one here tonight. We have been here for a while just because of the award show, but yeah, I mean, there's not really much more you can ask from a team, right?
No.
Marsupial Madness, drama, non-withheld, the only Mar earlier in the season, but Drop the Guns, able to rebound from that misstep and just completely steamroll their way through the rest of the season. Absolutely spectacular, this team.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Great job there from Drop the Guns. Golden stage, and you get to see them highlighted there in the pure gold on the bracket. So great to see there. And I don't know, I think we've said about all there is to say, Fletch. I don't know if you've got any final thoughts.
I was running out of things to say halfway through the series, dog. Like, this Drop the Gun squad was certainly the best team tonight. They were the best team in the playoffs. They were the best team in the tier. There's no questioning their strength, their dominance, their power as this season comes to a close for this tier. Congratulations again to Drop the Guns. Congratulations to Zebras for a well-fought game. And we look forward to seeing both these teams, whether the players come back or not. The players that do come back, we look forward to seeing them. The players that don't, we wish them the best of luck. We do have, I think, 1 or 2 more grand finals left on the other side of this one later this week, next week maybe. So look forward to that. The season's rapidly coming to a close, so thank you all for watching, and we will see y'all in those final games.